Hello everybody, this is Julia from Just One More Card, and today I want to show you how to do gold embossing and Copic coloring on vellum to create a really nice effect for your projects. Let's get started. I'm going to be using this beautiful large background stamps by My Favorite Things. They released it a couple of months ago, and I mounted it onto the inner lid of my Misty, and now I'm inking it up with Versamark. Versamark's a sticky ink, and you'll need it, like I'm stamping here on a vellum piece, and you'll need that sticky ink so you can emboss, because the embossing powder, I'm using gold embossing powder here, is going to stick to the wet ink. I'm actually holding my panel here with a piece of tape onto which I had stamped even previously. It makes it easier for me to cover everything and to move this piece around without getting my fingers onto everything. Then I heat set it, and on vellum it's just amazing to watch how quickly the embossing powder changes and becomes solid. It's just so much fun, it's magical. Now for the coloring, originally I had wanted to color on the back. I've actually have this piece turned around and I'm coloring on the back. That's why I'm coloring over the embossed lines. You have to remember to use very like dark markers or very color intense markers, because as you can see, when you turn this around, it will be muted quite a bit. So if you use very light markers, you might not even see the color on the other side, depending on what kind of vellum you use. The upside, of course, is that you don't have to worry about damaging your Copic markers. The Copic markers are, they have an alcohol ink, and that means that if you go over an embossed line often with the tip of your marker, you could actually start to dissolve the embossing that could damage the tip. So that's one of the reasons why people color on the back of the vellum when they have heat embossed it. Like I said, you need to use intense colors, otherwise it's going to be super muted when you turn it around. So just be very aware of that and maybe test it out on a scratch piece of vellum how it will look like. I would probably normally not use colors quite as dark as these for a card, or at least not in combination, but I checked time and time again, like I turned around my piece and I checked it, and it was quite obvious that that the colors were quite muted, so I wasn't worried about that. I actually like how the greens look, because when you mix, here's actually, yeah, here you can see how it looks like. It's very muted. What I wanted to say is when you mix colors on vellum, you will move the ink around a bit even, and not blend it like you would on paper. So just be aware of that. It's going to go onto my card base like this. I'm going to frame it with this panel that I cut apart. So it's going to be like this. Just making sure that it's the way I want it to be. And I started out by adhering the vellum to my card base. I have some adhesive on the card on the very bottom and very top where the vellum is. Not directly behind the vellum though. And then I foam mounted the top panel on which I had stamped a sentiment from My Favorite Things. I'll be listing all the stamp sets that I'm using in the video description below or on my blog. Then I'm foam mounting the bottom part of this panel, and I'm almost done. Of course, I couldn't leave the card be, so what I did was I grabbed some gold enamel dots and put them into the centers of the biggest flowers, just for some additional dimension and interest. That's the only reason. And since I already had the gold embossing, I felt that was not too distracting. It was actually, I felt it was enhancing the card. Here's a close-up of the gold embossing and of the Copic coloring, which shines through from the back of the vellum. And here is a look at the entire card. I hope you got inspired. I hope you took something new away from this little tutorial and you enjoyed it. If you liked my card, please subscribe to my channel. You can do this on this page here by clicking the subscribe now button on your computers. And I have 2 more videos for you showing how you can use colors and floral images to make striking cards. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you again soon. Bye bye.